What's going on, YouTube? You already know. Moolah in the building.
You call me Mike. You call me Mike.
Mike in the building.
And I'm Gino Jacob.
Gino Jacob in the building. You know what I'm saying? How to bring the bros on the channel for the one time. But today we're gonna be reacting to a case so brutal it traumatized police, but with a twist. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? Y'all about to see us. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to cut the video. And, you know what I'm saying? And we're about to react to it. Let's get it.
Their funeral was difficult, but while she was there, she kept in touch with friends, texting them updates and photos. By Sunday night, June the 16th, she was heading back to Utah, where she studied kinesiology at the University of Utah. Mackenzie was ambitious. She planned to graduate in 2020 and had spoken to advisors about nursing and even medical school. Outside of class, she worked at a biological testing lab and was a member of the Alpha Chi Omega sorority. Her life was full of plans, promise, and people who adored her. Just after 1:30 a.m. on June the 17th, Mackenzie's flight touched down in Salt Lake City. She sent a text message to her mother to say that she landed safely. And then at 2:42 a.m., she climbed into a Lyft taxi. However, Mackenzie didn't head home. Instead, she directed the driver to Hatch Park, about 20 minutes away. When they arrived at the destination, she told him that she was meeting a friend. The driver said she didn't appear scared or nervous. She got out of the car, wheeled her suitcase across the grass, and met someone waiting in another vehicle. The Lyft driver then drove off. This would be the last time that anyone would see Mackenzie Lueck alive.
North Salt Lake residents on alert tonight as police continue to investigate in and around Hatch Park, the last place 23-year-old Mackenzie Lueck was seen.
We had the undercover units in our apartment complex right across the street, just driving around, looking at everything, looking in everything.
Today, police releasing the last known photos of Mackenzie Lueck at the Salt Lake City International Airport, where she arrived early Monday morning, took a Lyft ride from the airport, and was dropped off here at Hatch Park in North Salt Lake around 3 a.m.
At this time, we cannot confirm the make and model of the vehicle that picked up Mackenzie, or the description of the person at Hatch Park on June 17th.
Which brings us to these cameras at the park.
Hatch Park doesn't have any cameras. We have some dummy cameras.
Cameras that might have captured critical clues aren't cameras at all.
Replay a few seconds. Listen to what they said, bro.
Vehicle that picked up Mackenzie, or the description of the person at Hatch Park on June 17th.
Which brings us to these cameras at the park.
Hatch Park doesn't have any cameras. We have some dummy cameras.
Cameras that might have captured critical clues aren't cameras at all, according to city manager Ken Leatham.
This park's on a main street. It's right near the police station, and so it gets a lot of attention.
Bro, what is the point of having, like,
What's the point of it?
Like, put real cameras. Like, if they had put real cameras, you probably would have been a lot.
No
exactly?
saying, bro.
They probably would have found a body.
That's insane.
Fake cameras is crazy.
And find whoever did it too, at least. Bro.
Fake cameras is crazy, bro.
And a lot of eyes are on this park.
But at 3 a.m., very likely empty.
Salt Lake City police just had 3 vehicles just go down the road.
Those who live across from the Park State Police continue asking for nearby surveillance footage, patrolling the neighborhood, searching for Mackenzie Lueck.
If you don't know where to start in Top Heroes World, the Springland is a great place to start. There are low-level enemies and villages with free healing wells. Save Flame Hall and
Mackenzie and Ayula Ajayi had first connected months earlier. They met on a website called Seeking Arrangement. It was a controversial platform that
Jacob, you and him got like this.
Say cranium, say noggin, I know shit.
catered to sugar daddies and sugar babies. And while it did carry a stigma, Mackenzie's friends
Try Tinder and be blunt about it. Mine says, I want a SD-SB relationship with a real connection. If don't know what a SD-SB is, tell them bluntly sugar daddy and sugar baby. If they don't know, they aren't really worth your time. Set your age preference 35 plus. You'll have the most luck there. Damn.
So she was on some.
So she was on some like sugar baby shit, like on some like
She wants someone to take care of them.
yeah. I have some experience on seeking arrangements online only.
Tinder.
Didn't judge her. She was independent, financially conscious, and she wasn't naive. But what no one knew was just how dangerous Ayoola truly was. On the surface, he seemed accomplished. Originally from Nigeria, he was a US resident with a green card, and he'd worked IT jobs with recognizable companies. He'd even served briefly in the Army National Guard. But behind closed doors, there were warning signs. At Utah State University, Ayoola was kicked off campus in 2012 after visa violations and a theft investigation. When he was allowed to return in 2015, he didn't last too long this time either. He studied computer science, but he never graduated. In 2018, his 2 characters in the book are burned after being murdered. But things got even worse. There was also the room. Just 2 months before Mackenzie disappeared, a contractor came forward with a chilling account. Ayoola had asked him to build a secret soundproof room situated beneath his front porch. He wanted it finished quickly. He said it must have no window.
The frame is gonna be from me just sitting here chilling. I'm at the wall. The cut not gonna be complete at all.
I'm pretty sure we all had something in our hands. Like that. Oh, you need to Twix, nigga.
Niggas will come back. They shoot in their hands.
Oh, cool it down. Cool it down. Cool it down. Cool it down.
The walls were to be fitted with hooks. A biometric fingerprint lock was to be put on the door. And when he was asked what all this was for, he simply claimed it was a place to hide alcohol from his Mormon girlfriend. The contractor thankfully refused the job because to him, something about the request felt off.
And a local contractor has come forward, claiming Ajayi asked him in April to build a soundproof, hidden room behind a secret door at the house.
I've never, ever had anybody ask me anything like this.
After he turned down the job, Ajayi persisted, making repeated requests through
Yeah, I've never had anyone ask me that. Duh, you never had anyone ask me to put a secret bunker behind a room?
Yeah.
Yes, I started school this week to expand my biz. I'm in class all day, so I'm tired. Hello, Brian, still waiting on the code. He came on last week. So,
wait.
So if you tell me he really made this room, lock this nigga up.
No, that is. He like on the news talking about. I know.
I think he made the room.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I think there was a picture. I think there was a picture.
Yo, look at this egg, bro.
What?
Oh, that's an egg?
That's an egg.
That's crazy. Huh, show the camera. Oh, okay. Nigga just ate that big. Bro.
Like.
texts.
And he was adamant about getting it done really fast, and money was no object, and he needed to get it done before his girlfriend came into town.
Go, bro.
Later, a house cleaner would confirm that Ayoola's home was loaded with surveillance cameras, especially in the bedroom. None of this was known to Mackenzie.
The Alaska Department of Public Safety is actively hiring new troopers.
By the time she stepped into his car at Hatch Park, he had already disabled his home security system, and he'd already decided exactly what he was going to do.
Like,
Mackenzie's family hadn't heard from her since she sent a text message to her mother at around 2 a.m. on June the 17th. At first, they just assumed she was busy, but when she missed a midterm exam, when she failed to feed her cat, and when she didn't show up to a wedding that she planned to attend back in California, alarm bells really started ringing. This is a 911 call made by Mackenzie's father, Greg Lewick, when he started to realize that something wasn't right.
Yeah, I'd like. Y'all ever think when y'all, my fault, but when y'all watch documentaries and shit, right? Like case documentaries and shit.
Yeah.
Tell me it's not in the most randomest places.
Nah, for real.
Wyoming be booming.
I've seen some in Alaska.
Oh, for real? Where?
I seen like a torture case in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska.
What the fuck?
What?
In hotels we stayed at too.
Recently?
No, this was like 2019.
Damn. We were still alive then. Damn, that's crazy.
2019, we're like 17.
They be like this on documentaries like this? That's crazy.
Like,
I'd like to get, if it's possible, have a wellness check done on my daughter. I've been trying to get a hold of her all week. I was just wondering if I could have somebody.
Come on, lay down. Go lay down.
my bad, y'all. We got the dogs, bro.
Y'all got dogs, y'all understand.
I'm saying.
They got food.
Sorry. Twist motherfucker. Got you, that's what she's saying. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Got the egg.
Maybe go by her house and check on her. Last time we heard from her, she got off the plane coming back from LA. It was 1 a.m. She was going to grab an Uber and go home, but that's the last I've heard from her.
So 1 a.m. this morning?
No, 1 a.m. Monday morning. So we've been trying to get a hold of her all week. Usually it's unlike her to return a call, but it goes straight to voicemails.
And does anyone have a key?
I don't know. The landlord may. I don't know of anybody that would be there besides her roommates that would have a key. You know what? I take that back. She said she dropped one behind the mailbox, but she could never get it out. So there may be one back there. Somebody can fish it out, but I don't know if she ever got it out or not.
Her friends now panicked too. Kennedy Stoner, a close friend and sorority sister, spoke to the media in those early days. She said Mackenzie had been devastated by her grandmother's passing. However, she said this disappearance felt entirely out of character. She's close with her family, Kennedy told reporters. She wouldn't just vanish. Police launched a search. They traced Mackenzie's movements after she landed at Salt Lake City International Airport. Surveillance footage showed her retrieving a brown suitcase from baggage claim. She looked tired but calm. Investigators then spoke to the Lyft driver who picked her up, and he confirmed that he dropped her off at Hatch Park and that she willingly got into another vehicle. He said that she didn't seem distressed and that she didn't signal for help.
Remember, I was actually going to turn off my my app and go home, but right then I got another order to go pick somebody up downtown. So I just went to go.
Yeah, that issue. He might have been like, they might have been on some like talking back and forth, like, oh, come stay with me, like boyfriend, girlfriend, that shit.
Yeah, like.
Hit her ass.
Damn.
With dummy cameras. Stupid ass.
Nah,
Janik provides sales training, coaching, talent assessment, consulting, and more. Contact us today.
We're going to put you with a foster mum called Laura. You're going to love her.
Oh, welcome to your new home.
To go pick up that person. They seem to know each other really well because I think all I heard was, how are you doing? How are your trip? Just kind of basic greetings. The situation seemed very safe. She obviously knew the person that she was getting into the car with.
Investigators found that her final text message was sent at 2:58 a.m. and it was to Ayoola Ajayi. Her phone powered off 1 minute later. Very quickly, detectives zeroed in on Ayoola.
Police say it was an Instagram follow made by Mackenzie's account yesterday that played a part in leading them to this home. Now, it is listed as an Airbnb by the homeowner. We know that several search warrants were executed in this case, one being for this home last night. Today, no one answering. And just before 1 this afternoon, multiple Salt Lake City police officers were back on the scene using what looked like binoculars to look at the home, but they didn't go inside. Many of them also canvassed the neighborhood in the backyard. You can see the areas where police dug up.
Our detectives collected multiple items of evidence throughout the night that are in the process of being tested and analyzed. This will take some time. Last night, several people made us aware of a mattress and box spring that were given away from the residents at 547 North, 1000 West in Fair Park. We asked those who took those mattresses or box springs to please contact the Salt Lake City Police Department at 801-799-3000.
His story just wasn't adding up. He completely denied knowing Mackenzie at all, but their phone records told a very different story. So on June the 26th, police served a warrant and then began an exhaustive search of Ajayi's home. They brought in dogs, forensics teams, and excavation equipment. What they found shifted the investigation from a missing persons case to something far darker. Ajayi's neighbour actually noticed that some strange burned items had appeared in her garden. She contacted the authorities and they attended her property. This is the body cam footage from that visit.
Is it okay if we come back there and load? Is that okay? Hey, Sarge. You good for a minute?
So.
First aid after fire. You've talked to the detectives and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there. The quality stunk really bad.
But like, why is he just
Yeah, like he's like kneading into it.
Behind Ajayi's garage, police uncovered a freshly dug area of soil. It didn't take long before that soil gave way to evidence that nobody wanted to find. There was human tissue, bone fragments, charred fabric, and something far more chilling, what appeared to be part of a human scalp. Hair was still attached. Elsewhere on the property, officers recovered Mackenzie's burnt personal items. This included her student.
Man, she walking by, she don't even know. Look.
He's 3 foot 10 inches tall, little bean head ass,
Tight shirt, tight shirt, tight, big good ass, lean good ass.
Beer belly ass.
I was gonna say beer belly ass. Skinny leg, bent leg ass.
Bent leg. It be a young boy's name in there.
Small knees ass.
Beef fork ass.
Small calf ass.
Look at his hairline, whatever you. That bit thrown in the end.
Nigga legs, the body long.
Nigga like a fucking smiley face. Put 2 dots on the dome.
Bro. Look like you, Jacob.
ID. They also found a red gas can.
See the shine on that shit?
Strong body, stocky body ass.
Personal items. This included her student ID.
Bro, this nigga killed a girl, bro. Imagine being in his situation, like, the nervous wreck you gotta be in. Like, he has to lie and all this shit. Like,
They also found a red gas can. Tests on the remains that they found in the back garden were confirmed to be
I swear. Nigga.
I wasn't with her.
you finna see them.
that of Mackenzie Lueck.
This is the suspect's backyard. Right here is where police dug multiple holes in the ground. It's here where cops say they found charred human tissue matching Mackenzie's DNA. They also found personal items that were burned belonging to Mackenzie.
And so it was that it fell on Chief Brown to notify Mackenzie's parents.
This is one of the most difficult phone calls I've ever made. As both Greg and his wife Diana were devastated and heartbroken by this news.
And inside Ajayi's car was the unmistakable smell of gasoline. However, even with everything they'd found, there were still some vital pieces of evidence missing. This is the body cam footage of Ajayi's arrest.
What's going on, man? So, detectives are ready to talk to you about everything that's going on real fast, so if you want to come, I'll give you right back to the house real quick.
But there's Fox News over there.
I know, I'm going to drive you back in my car. It's a Camry, so...
We'll
stay away from the news. Yeah, we're not going to go by the news.
But I don't want my face on the news.
I will do that so it doesn't, okay? So stand up real quick.
Good. We're just going to... Oh, are you arresting me or something?
No. Stand up. Then why you're going to be detained for a little bit. You're being detained. But just for a second, okay? I got to put you in handcuffs just while we're driving.
Per policy, we're just going to go talk to detectives for a little bit.
Why are you detaining me? Because you need to talk to detectives, and I need to transport you back. So my policy says every time someone's in my car, they will wear handcuffs. So that's why they're...
But there's a news over there.
They can come right back.
We're probably not going to take... We'll take you to another spot so you're not by the news.
Okay?
We just hung up. How did the news find out?
Yeah,
we were wondering the same thing.
I just want to make sure there's no weapons on you.
Some dungeon entrances in Top Heroes are super sneaky. At Sentry Tower, most players just grab the chest and leave.
We're not going to take... We'll take you to another spot so you're not by the news.
Okay?
We just hung up. How did the news find out?
Yeah, we were wondering the same thing. I just want to make sure there's no weapons on you.
Earlier you said we could take your phone and download it. Are you still willing to do that or no?
I just need to call my lawyer and see if it's okay. Because I want to help as much as I can.
Sure.
But she's saying that some police just want to pin it on someone that they can pin it on me.
We have had a week and a half now to prepare. And we have been very busy because I care about Mackenzie. And I want her. I think you did care about her. I agree. And I know that there's more for you to tell me and you're holding back and I don't understand why. AJ, I just told you that your phone records and the location put you up at the meet. Do you think, honestly, and expect me to believe that you ended that conversation and somehow you and her location end up in the exact same spot?
Oh, I'm not doubting you. If I see that too, if I'm in your case, I would be asking myself, what are you asking me right now?
It's not a miraculous question.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Stuff doesn't just happen.
No.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'm telling you to explain that. And so far, you have not.
Well, how do I explain something I don't know?
On July the 2nd, with mounting pressure and forensic evidence now stacked heavily against him, Ayoola Ajayi...
Do you think he confessed?
Yes, bro.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
I think he did.
I think he went under pressure to he cracked.
Yeah, like they said, there was a pressure, forensic evidence.
That's what I was saying.
Like,
literally location, text messages. He's literally saying he's not texting her, and they're like, "Bro, you're literally text right here."
Let's see.
He did something unexpected. Through his attorney, he told police where to look next. Ayoola's home sat in the Fair Park neighborhood of Salt Lake City. From the outside, it looked like any other suburban rental, grey, square, and quiet. But inside, something monstrous was just waiting to happen. Once he got Mackenzie inside, he bound her by the wrists, using both zip ties and rope. He began to manually throttle her with his hands. She begged him to stop. To happen. Once he got Mackenzie inside, He bound her by the wrists, using both zip ties and rope. He began to manually throttle her with his hands. She begged him to stop. She tried to fight, but he carried on. Instead, he flipped her onto her stomach and then used a belt to assist him in his attack. He pulled on it until her time on this earth came to an end. Ajayi didn't call for help. There was no remorse, and it seems there was no panic. This was what he wanted. So he got to work. He took some of her belongings and threw them into the Jordan River. Then he dug a shallow grave in his backyard and buried her body. The next day, he returned to the grave, and this time he brought gasoline. Neighbors would later recall the smell, thick and chemical. One of them saw him standing over a fire pit with a red gas can in his hand. This was the same gas can police would later find in his car. Receipts confirmed that he purchased this can just hours after Mackenzie vanished. Logan Canyon is known for its winding roads and scenic trails. It's where people go to disconnect, where they go to breathe deeply, to hike and to heal. But on July the 3rd, 2019, searchers followed Ajayi's directions into Logan Canyon. This took them about 85 miles north of Salt Lake City, and there, in a wooded clearing off of a dirt road, they found another shallow grave. It was almost hidden beneath trees and brush. Upon digging, they found more of what he had buried for a second time, more charred remains. Zip ties still bound her arms behind her back. There were more fragments of clothing matching those in the backyard. It was clear Mackenzie had been moved, burned again, and then left to decay in silence. Phone records placed Ajayi in that exact location on June the 25th. This was just one day before police knocked on his door for the very first time. It seems he panicked, and instead of confessing, he dug her up and drove nearly 90 miles north to hide her body for a second time. What Ajayi didn't realize is that every mile left a trail, his digital footprint, surveillance footage, gas receipts. His lies were unraveling faster than he could bury them. Mackenzie had been found. The case went to court.
Remember, okay, I'm not, these are two complete different situations, but remember you were like, if I'm at work and I'm high, I'm not gonna confess. This nigga's not gonna play it. I don't care. I'm denying that shit for real.
Spoke with Mackenzie's family this morning. Another devastating call. Despite their grief, we hope this will help them find some closure and justice for Mackenzie.
At this time, we will have a statement from the Lueck family read by Mackenzie's uncle.
The Lueck family would like to express their gratitude for the effort put forth by the Salt Lake City Police Department and all partnering agencies that assisted, as well as all of the people that provided tips on this case. They are also grateful to her community, her friends, and others around the nation who have supported this investigation. The family will not be taking any questions, and no interviews will be held. Inquiries should be directed to the Salt Lake City Police Department. Again, we ask that everybody respect the privacy of Mackenzie's family and friends at this time. Media requests and statements for the family will be taken by the Salt Lake City Police Department. Thank you.
This is easily the most organized buying section I've ever done. Link below to download the Opera browser for free.
Helen Hansel was able to win any competition she took part in. She was known as the contest queen.
It wasn't even successful.
On October the 7th, 2020, Ayoola Ajayi stood before a judge and pleaded guilty. Guilty to aggravated murder and to desecration of a human body. It's now he admitted everything. He also pleaded guilty to violating another woman, someone he had met on a dating app in 2018. She came forward after seeing Mackenzie's story in the news. The evidence against him was overwhelming, but it was more than just physical proof. His entire history pointed towards this moment. The disturbing blueprint had been unfolding long before Mackenzie ever boarded her flight. This was premeditation to the nth degree. Prosecutors had considered seeking a death penalty, but with his guilty plea, Ajayi avoided it. In exchange, Mackenzie's family was spared the anguish of a drawn-out trial. The perpetrator sat in court in an orange jumpsuit, his head lowered, offering an apology the district attorney would call hollow. My daughter, Mackenzie Lueck, was a sweet, amazing young lady with the world ahead of her, her father said. I will never have the opportunity to see her blossom in life. The court heard from her cousin too. This is a nightmare you can't wake up from. On October the 23rd, 2020, 3rd District Judge Vernice Trees delivered the sentence. Ayoola Ajayi would spend the rest of his life in prison. There would be no chance of parole. She also added 5 more years for desecrating Mackenzie's body. In the courtroom, Ajayi spoke briefly. I'm sorry for what I did, he said, but no one believed him. Not the district attorney, not Mackenzie's family, nor the friends who had waited for justice for over a year. In the end, the question of why was never fully answered. Ajayi gave no motive. Prosecutors suggested it was simply to know what it felt like, to live out a fantasy. There was no argument, no fight, no history between them, but there was a lot of planning, and a plan that he carried out. And for a brief time he thought he got away with it, but Mackenzie's life left traces, and those traces led to the truth. Be careful out there, and I'll see you soon.
Gwynver Beach is...
Ain't that crazy, guys? You know what I'm saying?
I wish death penalties were like more thrown.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there were more put on and harsh as soon as possible, like, get it out.
Even if he did it, especially if he even admitted it too.
And like that's like death penalty worthy because like that's cruel as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they said they had no history between each other.
Yeah. Like,
They've just met on a dating app.
And he decides to just
burn her.
Why would you meet with someone at 3
kill
in the
her,
morning?
That is true though.
Like, go home, bro.
What did she? What like you said? What did he say to her to make her come at that time? With her suitcase. You know what I'm saying?
I'll let you move in with me.
They thought she was probably on some freak time, remember?
Shit, hey.
Meet me at the park.
If she provides, I don't deny.
Sure, rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace, bro.
Wow, bro. Rest in peace to you, though.
You know what I'm saying? But we gotta wrap it up for that one, bro. You know what I'm saying? That is the first. This is my first little collab video with the ends. Trolling in a bit. We missing a couple people, bro. You know what I'm saying? We finna get that soon. Anyways, make sure to like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Comment,
share.